industry has advised, the federal, government, trying not to ban, the forex for the textile industry, knowing that, yes, it is a big industry, but it argued that given the position of Nigeria in Africa as a leader in fashion, the range, I'm just trying to read that up. Sorry, I got a bit of distraction there. The range of fabric produced by Nigerian textile industry would not support the industry in terms of quantity and quality. Just like we said last week, 82 million smartphones shipped into the country, and that's the same thing with the amount of clothing that is also shipped into Nigeria as well. And I'll leave that update for that afternoon, right here from Lagos, where we continue until we return back to London. We will give more good insight when we speak to some business owners tomorrow or either Wednesday. I have some people lined up that we're going to engage with, because now is the time to know what the businesses are feeling after the whole process of the election itself. I'll go back again to you now, Mr. Archie and Frank, before I leave the update from here.
Yes, Yomi, let me say thank you very much. I know it's been quite a tricky broadcast this morning, but listeners, thank you very much for also bearing with us. Yomi, so let's say thank you very much, but tomorrow, we know that tomorrow or the following day we'll be lining up a few of the business entities, like you said. We'll see how, after the election, the aftermath of the election, how they are all faring. On that note, we'll say thank you very much and have a lovely day.
Thank you very much. Continue to listen to Star Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean radio station in London. And from Lagos, Nigeria, it is good afternoon, and have a great day to those of you on the other side of the globe. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Yes, listeners, Star Radio UK. We take a commercial break, and once we come back, we bring you some of the stories making the rounds in the UK and other parts of the world. We're touching on some other stories in Africa and then in Ghana as well. Yes, militia group. Are they? What are they called? Are they? What? Vigilantes, militia group. What? Party, army, soldiers, whatever. We'll be talking about all that. But you stay tuned. Don't touch it down.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
Charlie, come me try cash no. The way me who man me suspect some Benjamin at all. Me pacho send you ntem why na I was na kiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisi a. Wo saka we from why? Na we dey Charlie ya wapa o. Oh, Kwame, maybe so try call no. Charlie, my yes rough from back. Why?
Hey Joe, me saka messages no why. Nyabu trema me, no pressure. Me chat to direct amount here. So mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. Anyo, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say who to me do MoneyGram? Oh, mobile money wallet more Ghana ha. Zpay and a tire tree. MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. We now MoneyGram agent biao.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedisa Charlie.
Come like a kite, hi, 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 hi. Shatawale come like a kite, hi, 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 hi. Me come to them like some kakai, hi, 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 hi. Shatawale come like a kite, forever and ever. I'll be a soldier, forever and ever.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Forever and ever.
Okay, yeah, so this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
I'll be your father.
3 minutes to the top of the hour is the time.
Salute to me anytime. Yes, I'm
The morning show is the program.
Williams.
Of course, if you're watching us live on Facebook, you can share the page with your friends or loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Those of you on YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and all the others, share the links with them.
More dollar.
Well, Starr Radio UK is coming like Kakai. And this one is a friendly Kakai, you know.
Anyone be step man down to the earth.
Now this afternoon, exactly at 1:45,
Hi.
we have HRH Linda PALLIEN who will be joining us on the Career 101 program.
Hi.
Like I told you early this morning, I told you that she was on another planet last week. That's why she couldn't land on planet Earth.
Hi.
She goes global trotting, you know, and planet trotting as well. But she'll be coming your way this afternoon, exactly 1:45. But then this evening, exactly at 5 o'clock, we have On Point coming your way with Regina Aban and Lady Caroline.
I'll be a teacher.
It will follow suit by Mindset, the Mindset program by Tony Williams at 7 o'clock. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Then exactly at 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Tuesday morning. Woo! 50 years and 50 and a half years by HRH Dave West himself. I call him the maestro. He'll be smashing your airways with the conscious reggae on Starr Radio UK. So make sure that you tune in to listen to all these programs. Of course, we are bringing you the best. Not that the best, but the very best.
Hi. Shatawale, I come like a kite. Hi. Shatawale.
Okay, so now let's go to some of the other stories making the rounds here in the UK and then we move on.
Hi.
Now, Frank, last week was a very interesting time in the UK.
Yeah.
Now, this morning we have had the former Foreign Secretary Boris now coming out to say, guys, you don't support the Prime Minister's deal that she's bringing again, if she brings it this week.
Yeah.
And then we have some other person, unnamed, conservative, saying that, okay, you know what? I will only support you if you will tell us that when you present the deal, tomorrow you are leaving, or the next day, or the next month. So virtually, we are going round and round and round. We had Jeremy Corbyn, who was on another platform yesterday, and he was asked the question. I wanted a yes or no.
Yeah.
He couldn't come out with it. The question was, do you want the UK to remain in the EU? Or not? You know the politicians, they never, you ask them a question, they won't say yes.
No, Jeremy Corbyn, we know, has been an Eurosceptic all his life. So that it's not surprising. But once you become a leader, you have to actually put the interests of your group first. Which in this case, what is the position of the Labour government or the Labour as a body? What is their position? But actually, you say Theresa May deal, if you look at it, it's like it could pass. It could pass. The reason being that she's deployed a tactical move which is working in her favor, but likely to hurt her more if it doesn't pass. Why am I saying that? If you look at the first vote that was
taking on that. She had 200 and something people voting against it. If you look at the second vote, they said
she had 100 and something
voting against it.
So she's gathering a bit.
So she's gathering a bit of momentum. For the first time, we had a DUP saying that, look, over the weekend, the talks they had were a bit of positive. That's for the first time they were saying that. Granted that some of them will vote or 10 of them will vote, that will reduce that deficit from 40 something to. We have now a few Labour MPs knowing that second referendum might not be a straightforward issue. Instead of delivering a no deal, they might want Theresa May deal. Because what Theresa May is pushing now is either my deal or we could go for a no deal or we could go for a no Brexit at all. Now, so she's pushing on three angles. Those who want a no, those who want Brexit, like call them their name ARCHIE.
European Research Group.
They are not European Research Group. They are Economic Ruin Group. I call them Economic Ruin Group. The Economic Ruin Group have gathered, and if you look at, they are almost 100, right? Strong members 25. Others will move. Others, but you see 25 of them, about 25 of them who normally, if they fear that, well, if we do not vote for this, Theresa May can lock us back in Europe. They might, some of them might be tempted. So granted, 50 of them will vote. That brings our deficit to 90 something. Actually, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But it's going to be difficult. Labour also needs to come clear and speak. Say, like the way Theresa, these people have said Boris, that Boris has said that let's reject it. But even if they reject it, the number will not be 40 something. No, 140 something.
But I'm looking at it that some are virtually they voted that they're going to be an extension if Theresa May's deal this week or next week. She's scared now, so she decided to bring it in on next week. So if it doesn't pass, now should that happen, that it doesn't pass, now what do you think is going to happen?
Actually, extension, whether we like it or not, it's going to happen.
Okay.
Extension will happen. What we now have to look for is, or we look out to, is what sort of extension, what length of time we're going to happen. Because should they even pass the amendment on Wednesday, that's 20th, they cannot use the remaining 8 days or so, or call it 9 days, whatever, to pass all the backing, the legislative backing that is going to will be required to fully depart. And that is where she said, okay, I'll go and seek extension. But the extension she wants to seek is that back me and I'll seek an extension for us to leave probably in June. No, that is one extension that if they pass, is like, so extension will happen.
Okay.
The only way the extension will not happen is a no deal.
Okay.
That one, we have nothing on the table. A no deal, we all go. But the question with no deal is, if there's no deal, you by means go and negotiate trade deals. No, a no deal will also requires
a deal.
A deal, which will be some sort of deal in terms of trade deals. A no deal will also mean that the backstop that people so much feared will not, will not be removed because there will be a barrier. So the question you ask yourself, Ghanaians say, like, Koya na ye buy. Actually, if I were Theresa May, do not forget, she was an anti-immigrant. It was under Theresa May. I'm bringing this forward because of something I'm going to say. It was under Theresa May that we had those cars, those buses. You are not a Brit. Go back to your country with signboards and other things. Theresa May actually ushered in what today in British politics people or we describe now as a hostile environment for immigrants.
closing your bank accounts,
and other things,
making your
all the policies all the policies can be traced back to Theresa May, her reign at the Home Office, at the Home. The Home Secretary, the Secretary of State in charge of Home Affairs. She actually ushered in all those laws. Look, call it. We saw ready increase.
Yeah.
We saw people being stopped anyhow.
Yeah.
We saw landlords being forced. We got to a point where even people, if you are not all kind of discriminatory acts to present to us under Theresa May. And if you recall when she stood at Lancaster House, when she made comment, Brexit means Brexit. Part of that conversation was about freedom of movement.
Yeah.
The only thing that appears tangible, feasible for Theresa May is to actually go back on that Brexit means Brexit and to say that, okay, we're ready to do a bit of reasonable adjustment to what we thought would be Brexit. In terms of movement, freedom of movement, because trade and movement goes together. To go for a custom union or to go for something close to what they call it, where we can trade among them, and then there's a flexibility of movement. But do not forget, Farage and his people who are now walking down from Sutherland.
Say they are walking. The 29th,
they want to lose fat. They want to slim. Their gym fees are gone up. And they are walking towards London. Actually, if Theresa May were to go on a softer Brexit, actually, it would have passed. Because Labour would have supported it. What is Labour saying? Labour says, okay, if you want to take us out, prove that you will protect workers. Workers' rights. Because some of the laws in this country, the Labour front over here is actually using European law to be able to fight their case. So they are saying, okay, protect the Labour front. If you can protect, don't forget, history tells us that Margaret Thatcher ushered in some of the draconian laws against the trade unions. Okay? So they are saying, okay, knowing what we know, protect the Labour front. Okay? Bring in measures or guarantee that you protect Labour laws, or we enshrine the laws that protect Labour, the laws that we've all developed. And let's not forget, most of the laws that we have in the EU now were actually, started by my sisters and brothers in this country.
They championed it now. They
championed it.
We don't want to be part of it.
You see, the Queen's children are always smarter than. Are you getting me? If they can go under the custom union, protecting the rights of workers, and then freedom of some reasonable form of, freedom of movement. Actually, this deal will pass through, and we will not all be going up and down. But you know what? Whatever the case will be, the moment it becomes so difficult, the best will come out of it. So that's what I think.
Okay, so extension, you think that extension should come?
No, not that it will come.
It's inevitable.
It will. And the good thing about it is, last week, Vancouver's and the amendment to start indicate to actually tie the hands of the government failed to pass. Because by 2 votes. By 2 votes. And was because 6 Labour members have actually gone to back the government. They betrayed their own folks. Don't forget, Joseph. We have
Joseph's own brothers.
Are you getting me? But the government has assured that if Theresa May's deal is defeated once again, then what you're likely to see is government to start bringing in motions for indicative votes, which means that, okay, this is what the SNP is saying. We think we can craft something. Do you agree with it? So basically, they start doing something like building blocks towards a deal. What should have been the case from day one, that building blocks should have been put in place. Okay, what is the feeling of the parliament when it comes to freedom of movement? Do we want to belong to, what do you call it, custom union, or we don't want? If that vote has taken place earlier, they would have known the feeling of the parliament, and majority would have gone for a common union. That would have made sure that when Theresa May was actually negotiating, we thought, okay, these are some of the ingredients that Parliament has given me.
Yeah.
That Parliament want a flexible Brexit, more of an open borders where we can trade among ourselves. They don't want to belong to the European court. They don't want to belong to the currency. At least some sense of ingredients the Parliament would have supported. But because we did not start that way, and to the of all people, we know some of these things. There's a bottom-up approach. Now she went from authoritarian, and now she said, okay, our democracy is a bottom one. Come down to earth and let's start.
Yes, come and feel it.
You know.
well, Starr in the UK. But there's one area that seems to be bothering a few people, and they have been talking about the backstop, and they're saying that fine. It's Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a barrier there, a checkpoint there, what is it? I mean, that was, the checkpoint shouldn't make me angry that I'm taking a gun to go and shoot somebody. So, where people are coming, saying that the checkpoint could bring about this IRA or the bombing and terrorist activities that some people are thinking that no, it's something that we shouldn't worry ourselves about.
You need to go back to the history, how they became Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland. And there's a bit of violence past that we cannot not run away from. If you take a place like Ghana, the border between Togo and Ghana, there was nothing like violence. It was a colonial what they call a legacy. That's why today I can be cooking at a plow, and if I don't have salt, I can run to the other side and all over from KJB all the way to Upper East. You see those kind of things over there. Now, for the Irish, it wasn't like that. I mean, there's a history of violence, and when peace was negotiated, part of that document, although they did not foresee the referendum would be held, do not forget also that the Irish voted overwhelmingly to remain.
Yeah.
They voted overwhelmingly to remain. Are you getting me? So, part of that Good Friday Agreement made it clear that under no circumstances
should there be hard border.
Because do not forget, interactions always bring unity.
Yeah.
To meet a woman, if you don't meet her, there's no way you're going to marry.
Wow, I'm married.
If you don't interact, there's no way you can iron your differences out. If you do not communicate with each other, there's no way your differences will be ironed out. And if you create a barrier between people who are now trying to unite, then it's going to be the future of Ireland is where they are hoping that in future both the North and the Republic will become a nation. Will become there will be nothing like North. There will be that. We used to have East and West Germany. Even the Korean Peninsula, they are not trying to even break down the barrier. Why should we be seen to be creating more divisions within, And what last week we saw something that they proved to them that look, we still have the potent.
Sending bombs around.
Are you getting me? So for me, and thank God the Prime Minister has also committed, or almost everybody is committed to safeguarding this. And this is where the Economic Ruin Group baffles me, because they are opposed to a barrier. However, they don't want freedom of movement. They tell you technology. Last week we had Facebook blackout.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We had a jet being down, and almost every expert believe that technology. I'm not saying technology. It's because technology. That's what we are able. That's what we're able to do. What?
But there are flaws when it comes.
There are flaws when it comes to this, and when human interaction is Facebook and others has helped us a lot, but I do not think that technology will be the solution to Irish issue. For me, I do not think. But do not forget, it's not only about trade, because you're talking of technology to track what they call it, goods and services. Right? How about human beings?
The chip. We're getting to the end of times, man. Wow. Listen to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 12 to 16 is the time. You want to join us, feel free. Call us on 0208-133-2257, 0208-133-2257 or 58. In US or Canada, it is 001-718-303-2737, 001-718-303-2737. And then if you want to text or WhatsApp us, it's 075-396-61744, 075-396-61744. You can tweet at us, and it's at Starr Radio UK, and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. Now let's touch on one international story, and then we move on from there. Erdogan has been criticized for showing the New Zealand video. Now, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has been criticized for showing some of the New Zealand mosque gunman's video to bolster support at election rallies. Now, Mr. Erdogan said part of gun suspect Brenton Tarrant's manifesto was to keep Turks from Europe. Now, New Zealand Foreign Minister Winston Passer told Turkish officials showing the video was unfair and endangered his country's citizens abroad. Friday's attack on the two mosques in Christchurch, at the moment 50 people are dead. We have some 12 people who are still in serious condition, so we don't know what is going to happen to them. Our thoughts are with them though. But now the person did mention in the manifesto that they don't want the text. They are also coming. Now everybody seems to be, let's stay in our place. But he didn't come from Australia.
Yeah, he came from.
He didn't come from New Zealand. He came from Australia.
Yeah, but actually, it's saying, yes, I think it was a political overdrive that Erdogan went to. But what did this gunman said that we've never heard before? You recall, prior to Brexit elections, the referendum that led us to where we are today.
Yeah.
Why didn't we hear Boris Johnson and others saying about the text?
Yeah, said they are queuing at our borders. They are coming.
What kind of posters didn't we see on side of buses? How is that different from what this gunman said? They say, actually, it tells us that when political leaders are making comments, how people interpret it, they have no control of our mind, they have no control of our locations.
Yeah.
They can tell us what they want to tell us, they can use all the kind of language that they want to use. For them, they are just achieving their political goal.
Yeah.
But past that, the words that we speak or the words that they speak are powerful. They have implications. People refer to them, people analyze them, people interpret them differently. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
If we condemning the gunman, those words, and we even condemning the Turkish president for showing that video, then we should equally be condemning those who use those statements. Similar, is it because they did not use weapons to kill? But they are, I mean, the words that they spoke have implications, and they could even kill more people than this killing that took place in New Zealand. I'm not supporting the gunman. No, at all. I mean, whatever he did must be condemned. Those who died, especially in the mosque, need not to go suffering like that. I mean, most of them are innocent.
Yeah,
are innocent. Most of them themselves flee persecution and other things in their own countries to seek refuge where they are, only to be confronted again by evil forces.
A place where they came to sit.
So we should. But when people like Nigel Farage and others mount platforms in their quest to achieve what politically they've dreamt of, that this is the kind of Britain we want, some of the comments actually should also be condemned. I would have wished that the people condemning Erdogan now will go back and watch some of those utterances, listen to some of the utterances that were made. Could it be that some of those utterances radicalize people like this? Because that's why the texts are coming. The texts are coming.
Yeah.
In fact, they actually show images of them queuing, as if, you know, how we used to buy Hausa cocoa.
In a long queue, making yourself.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
It's quite worrying. But you know, one thing that I always talk about now, when or at what particular time, what period of time do we say somebody is an immigrant? And we say this one is a native. Now, if you take all these whites who are living in New Zealand, those who are living in Australia, those who are living in South Africa, and various places. Now, when they came, the natives were there. Those who are living in the US, the natives were there. They drove the natives. They pushed them into the background to some obscure corners, and then decided to develop. And then they say, when somebody comes in and say, you are a foreigner. We don't want you to come.
It started when the white man decided that this is when we started native descent from. You see, in every look, Archie, the powerful have always won. The world has never been fair. Those who actually master the act of using destructive force have always dominated. If you look at how Britain conquered or captured Hong Kong from China, they actually attacked the Chinese traders on the sea, stole their jute, and their you know, that's what they did. They actually stole. Britain, they are this where they were the thieves. No, they stole from them. Are you getting me? Killed them on the high seas, stole their goods, their wares, and other stuff. A journey from the east, a journey to the west, and all those things. That's how they captured it. So throughout the history, we've had situation where the powerful, those who mastered those destructive art using guns and other things, have always dominated, and this is what Britain did successfully, and this is what the Caucasians have succeeded in doing across the globe. You look at America, the natives have been driven out. Now, can Indians just go? The Red Indians who were originally occupied there, can they go and just say that's our land? Look at the Aborigines in Australia. In Australia now. They are more like an endangered species.
You know, last week or 2 weeks ago, when they said there was a hotel, and the hotel had instructions, I've forgotten the name of the hotel, to their staff that there should be separate rooms for Aborigines. So when they come, assuming we are charging, this place a hotel, we are charging £100 per night. We'll charge you £100 per night, but we'll take you to some other low-class room by charging you the same rate as... And I was like, really?
That's systemic discrimination and this systemic racism that you can talk of. Are you get me? Where institutions actually practice how to exploit the vulnerable. Are you get me? That's what the Caucasians have always done against people that do not have a skin as theirs. Actually, so for me, it's something that the history, look, even creation, even in the seas, the strongest animals do what?
They prey on the weaker ones.
So I have come to accept it.
So no, when I look at such stories, then I ask myself, do we then blame these Muslim extremists? I'm not saying that what they are doing is right, but when they say that this is what you've done to some other people, and when you venture to our place, when you come to Iraq, when you come to Afghanistan, this is what you want to do. You want to take over what we have, and then tomorrow you become our masters. Then I think we're not going to be sitting down for something again. And those who have got a bit of mental imbalance decide to go to the extreme and then do whatever thing that they do. Then do we blame them?
Actually, it's a very difficult one, but do not forget, two wrongs never make it right. The other thing that we ask is, how will taking such action correct the past? Okay, how will it change the world order today? Well, some will tell you what, nothing has been achieved without violence. And they will tell you that if the Europeans, when they were killing, indiscriminately, capturing, doing whatever they were, if people have said, oh, okay, you know what, we actually killing innocent people and other things, people in their own homes and other things, if that has been said, they would not have achieved the kind of great and might that they came to be known by, something that ushered them the kind of prosperity that the Europe enjoyed. Look, that argument can be made, but my personally, my interest would be, how do we ensure that the mistakes that we made in the past do not repeat themselves? That we are putting our houses in order. The policies that we control today. The Europeans came to rob us. They came to steal from us. That doesn't mean that they took everything from us. They actually took away our masters, our grandfathers into slavery. That doesn't mean that we've not populated our continent again. So the question I ask is, those of us who are living now, what are we doing to ensure that in 100 years' time, the stories that we read or we've come to know that Europe, this is what Europe did to be where they are, we reverse or we engineer the reverse, and that in 200 years' time, when people are reading about this year, they will know that Malay contributed in reversing, Akufo-Addo contributed in stopping corruption, and that kind of thing. That's what I think we should be more interested in. Innocent people, killing innocent people to achieve a name, for me, actually is the last thing that anyone should basically want to support.
Okay. Well, I know people. I've heard a few people who were having a chat, some discussions, and some were saying, well, when they did that to us, then they said they taught us vengeance is God. He says, I will repay. So you don't.
Sometimes you are tempted. Actually, sometimes you are tempted. Actually, sometimes you are attempted. Look, sometimes you are tempted to side with that. I am one person who supported the land reform in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
I supported it because it was long overdue. I did not actually support the violence, but like Karl Marx will say, when social force takes place, invisible forces actually oppress among
the one from Ghana.
Invisible forces actually oppress amongst the people that people do not have control of themselves. The only downside to that was when the government then did not get people ready to actually take over, manage effectively the lands and other things that are happening. And actually, should land redistribution happen today in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, which I pray happens sooner than later, I will hopefully and fully support it. But I pray that they learn from the Zimbabwe election example, not to characterize it with the kind of violence and other things that we see. Actually, talking about what they did, how they actually achieved their might and power. If you want to pay them back, it's going to be difficult.
What? Maybe generations to come.
What I think we should be doing, though, our education system needs to change. For instance, I shouldn't be taught in school like we are being taught today that Christopher Columbus discovered Africa. That is nonsense and stupid, because the people were living over there before he came. Discovery only relevant to his race. Are you getting me? So when I'm a Ghanaian Nigerian, you telling me that
somebody discovered me,
that's nonsense. So our academia should be questioning such utterances and such, and actually, changing some of those tests, not be taught ever in any of our schools again. Yes, they came to meet us. That doesn't mean they've discovered us. No. Because discovery can be, interpreted differently. You can say, okay, discovery, they brought us to life. They brought us to life. They created us. Okay, discovery, to what? Relevant to what? To know that they are Europe, that they also existed. They were living there. Well, we also living there. It's just like someone telling me, I remember walking on the street of Bath and someone called me a monkey. And I laughed. Do you know why? Because the person has not discovered that they are white monkeys. So all I needed to do was to show the person that they are monkeys that are white.
So you discovered the white monkeys.
So they are white monkeys. So at the end of the day, because you think I'm an ape, because the gorillas you've seen in some of these movies are all dark skinned.
Yeah.
You call me a monkey, or you call me, you think I'm a chimp and other things. It's because your people have failed to show that they are chimps that are white. Are you? So you call me a monkey?
Yeah.
My name, you are my brother. I have no problem at all. But we need to start changing how we develop in terms of people. And basically, our education is powerful. And if we still have some of those falsehood, some of those nonsense being taught in our schools, for me, it's a problem. That is where we need to start working. That the generation before that is coming after us will not be fed with. Tell them this is what the past was. Before they came to us. Are you saying that we did not live in the BC before the European came? If we didn't exist, why did they come to meet us? Those are some of the arguments I think we should start making and start changing our test. That if, for me, I go to school now, but I've gone past that stage. If today I'm asked who discovered Christopher Columbus, I'll tell you no. And I will argue. But you know, at that age, we are taught to not to question. Are you getting me?
Don't question authority.
So we have a responsibility to start letting people know that, you know what? Those are falsehood. And do not forget, those books were authored by them for their benefit.
So that you believe that. That's what they want to tell you. Let me say good afternoon to Felicia AEC and to Pastor Michael AEC as well. Philly, thanks for joining us. And to, my apologies, Florence Bar, wherever you are, massive good afternoon to you. You are tuning to Starr Radio UK. 12:33 is the time. 12:45, like I said, we'll be having a chat with the one and only HRH, Linda PALLIEN, on the Career 101 program. You having a problem with your job? You don't want to know what you don't know what to do? Feel free. Listen to us on that program, and we will keep you safe and sound in whatever job that you want to find yourself in. Now, some other stories making the round, apart from the cyclone that hit part of Mozambique. 90% of Mozambican city of Beira destroyed by cyclone Idai. There are gunmen who have raided Mali military and have killed 16 soldiers. That's some of the news that is coming through. It's a gunmen temporarily seized an army base in central Mali. Reuters reported on Sunday, citing a local mayor. The attack in the Importi region also led to the death of 16 Malian soldiers. The base was burned with reports indicating that arms has also been taken. Of course, when they come to such places, they will take arms. Now,
what they're going to use for the arm for is another thing.
Now, Mali, see where it's situated. When it comes to Ghana, when it comes to Nigeria, we have pockets of unrest in our the lands, virtually in the sub-region. Now we have a story in Ghana where we're talking about militia. We're talking about what do you call what's the other name that they call them?
Vigilantes.
The glorified terrorists.
What are they?
Vigilantes perpetrating what? What are they protecting? What are they trying to address? Now, and you ask yourself a situation where a journalist has done an investigative piece and they come out to say, you know what? This is what we saw there. And they say, government has come to say, no, that edifice is not, it's no more like a government seat or an annex in any way. It is a museum. So I ask the question there. When does an edifice become a museum? And who declares it as a museum? Is it the president? So he walks through Starr Radio UK, looks at what we are doing, say, Frank and Archie, I declare you people a museum. And that is what it's going to be. Or we have a body.
Archie,
who does
you know Madame Tussauds?
Yeah.
You know British museums?
Yeah.
How many ministries do you see operating from there?
Maybe the tourist ministry.
The tourist ministry. Actually, you know, some of this government, say when government is caught powered down, something that infuriates a people is when they go on a lying overdrive, trying to confuse people or trying to justify or lie about the whole thing. One would have thought that, look, we all miss, government did not promise, or government cannot be in power without making certain errors.
Yeah.
To be able to say, yes, the benefit of hindsight, this is an error, and we're taking steps to correct it. But the kind of posture we've seen from the government, and it surprises me, because the president we have in Ghana now actually is celebrated as a lawyer, although people question his that respect that people gave him. To a point where, at one, I recall in 2012, before the presidential debate, or during the presidential debate, let's say at IA, he was categorical about how he will actually fight corruption, and actually said he was going to personally take interest in encouraging people to do investigative journalism. But today he is overseeing a crackdown, a condemnation of people he once held, just because he's been caught, or his men have been caught in the act. That, for me, is a display of hypocrisy at the highest level. Archie, what has Anas done, or what has Manasseh done that hasn't been done in this country? How do people, all those BBC investigations, I mean, tell me, sometimes they use entrapment, right? It does to test your character, given the opportunity. Who told you that some of these presidents, when they go to other countries, they don't get tempted with gifts?
They do.
They do, right? That's why in the US, for instance, if you're a president, you go on in a tour, there are gifts that you can accept, there are gifts that you cannot accept. And even those that you accept, you must declare them when you come. You recall during President Mills' time, Obama's wife came and was given a watch, crafted watch. She needed to declare it. They have a body that then will then decide whether this is very personal, and then they give. But you cannot keep anything given to you in course of your duty. Or you get me? So if Charles Bishop is in the office on the phone, and people go attempt, I mean, giving him money and he accepts, you tell me it's an entrapment. That is all in camera. Do you know what he's with ourselves off camera? So for me, the argument that the methods like Canada, Japan, and others, I mean, it's nonsense to me. You've been caught, you've been caught. Because the question is, if you look at the judges' issue, for instance, which MPP held when they were in
opposition.
The argument is they went to 3 people. One was tempted. He refused.
That was Jesus.
Another was tempted. He was different.
Yes, Judas.
Another was tempted. He will say, you've delayed. Why did you wait so long? This bribe should have come long.
Quick, for us to use it to do also.
And to do what we need to do to glorify our political office. You tell me that let's blame the person who came. No, it's just testing your character. Because when you took that office, they are responsible, they are guided, the do's and don'ts. What they do is to test the don'ts. Whether the don'ts, you are actually observing them, or you actually taking the N and T out and just adding the essence, the do's. Telling the don'ts to the do's. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the way it's going, but actually, the militia thing in Ghana, we should all just look at what is happening in Nigeria. We should all look at what is happening with Boko Haram. Look, the question I always ask, should Akufo-Addo be voted out today? Should anything happen to Akufo-Addo today? We can't guarantee our future tomorrow.
No. For now we can't.
Should anything happen to Akufo-Addo? What becomes of the militia. What becomes of people who we have armed? Actually, we came from a revolutionary background. The CDRs were armed until a point where we have swoops, raids, and other things, and arms were retrieved. And I have said it repeatedly because I've seen it being done. That Ghana is a country where almost every village has a blacksmith.
Oh, yeah.
And part of the training to become a qualified blacksmith is not just to be making knives. They make guns.
Guns, yeah.
Most of our hunters use locally manufactured guns.
Yeah.
If you tell me the guns that they manufacture can kill elephant, can kill antelope, birds, and can't kill human beings, think again.
It only killed a bird. Maybe he's got something anti-human killing sentiment in there. Wow, wow. But looking at the whole thing now, we see that, look, it is a storm that is brewing, and if care is not taken, and I mean, it turns into a rain and comes down, it's going to cause lots of problems. Now, what do you think is the best way to resolve this?
I think it's leadership. Look, I was on a platform last week when Nana Akufo-Addo, for instance, was condemning the attack in New Zealand. And I was loud and clear. I said, look, you know what? Akufo-Addo has no moral authority whatsoever to condemn that gunman, because he's nurtured people who might commit crime graver than that man did. And why did I say that? And this morning, I've said to someone again that leaders must take action and must walk the talk. The Prime Minister of New Zealand came boldly to say that we will take action. Today, as we speak, she's been able to put on the table and has been backed by her cabinet laws that will control guns. When it came to our part of the world, what happens? Nana Akufo-Addo, what did he do as a leader? He actually ran away from responsibility and put the burden in a short, go and talk, and water down the issue. Actually, actions needed to be taken. Over the weekend, there was a video about a police officer being brutally assaulted by driver mates. And I said, okay, today, they are facing court. I said, okay, you think people are not watching what is happening? And we won. When law and order breaks down, and when leadership of a country seems not to care or seems to be supporting the breakdown of law because it involves and it has to do with people that they are benefiting from, they are sowing a seed that if we don't we don't take that, we cannot control. That's why in this country, can you just assault a police officer? No, actually, can you just? Oh no, somebody will say, yeah, they saw somebody, some guys assaulting the police officer. Actually, two of them karate. But they be like, oh, they are all down. How many times do you see that?
It's very, very rare.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we have the same militants and the same militias assaulting a government appointee
in front of the
cameras and everything, going to a law court, just like a crown court over here, going in there to assault people, freeing is actually prison break. Can you imagine?
I think I need to write a movie on that. You know, that
actually,
cool.
And then we have a whole police administration saying there's no evidence, because the people know you can't speak the truth. Are you getting me? So when they are beating you, don't blame them, because they know
you want to be beaten, so you have to be beaten. Wow, listeners, not knowing that whilst we were just chatting, the time has gone to 12:45.
So we have our lady house.
Yes, HRH Linda Palliien, who has joined us, and we'll go straight to her. Let's see how she's doing and where she is today. I told you she's always global trotting, but well, Linda, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Frank and Archie.
Afternoon. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I was enjoying your chat. I didn't want to interrupt.
Ah, nice to have you. Where are you today?
Oh, I'm still in sunny Eastbourne for not much longer, but I'm still here. Actually. Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry. I had a video clip or a music of my little girl singing, but we'll come to that later. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Good. How is Mr. Pallian? Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what did you say?
How is Mr. Pallian, please?
Yes, he's really good. Yeah.
Good.
We're moving to Cyprus, and then at the end of the month, so that's what we're doing. A lot of packing and planning.
Listen, as I told you that this lady, she goes global trotting, planet trotting. Now she's telling me she's moving from the UK. Okay, we hear you. Okay. So what are we looking at today?
Well, today I wanted to look at young people and what they can do in cultures, and this is in their career. Sorry.
Okay.
And this is off the back of Young Enterprise and the work that I've been doing about them, and I thought it's really timely because we were just at the papers over the weekend because we organized an event for young people big in the southeast of England, and they were fantastic. I was blown away by how far they came and how successful their businesses were in the short time that we've been coaching them through this. But even more to the point, I really wanted to jump on Frank's point about being an independent thinker, talking about who discovered America, Christopher Columbus, and just not questioning what we're being told.
Yeah.
And I think for future generations, it's crucial that if you're bringing up anyone, you're teaching them how to be an independent thinker, how to function on their own, how to ask questions and find answers to themselves. But also that I think that's the basis of existing in the world, you know, and thinking independently, but also tolerating and coexisting with people that have different beliefs to you.
Okay. So do you think that, as Frank said, we need to rewrite some of our educational books, like the history books? I mean, do you think there's a need for us to do that?
Definitely. I think there's a need to. I'm not saying don't teach people about it, but teach people and encourage them to ask their own questions. You know, I was having this debate with my little brother yesterday, and we were talking about, and he was saying science is fact. And I'm like, well, define a fact. A fact is merely a scientist's opinion.
Okay, that's a good one there.
Yeah, based on some evidence they've gathered with the limited knowledge that they have. And yes, we can replicate the results, and obviously the scientific process has its place. But I wouldn't say, oh, it's the word of, like, that's the be-all, end-all. Just a few years ago, scientists believed the Earth was flat. And they believed that with the knowledge they had until other evidence came to light. So I think there's room for us to be a bit more tolerant about other people's opinions. Have our own opinions for sure, but be more tolerant.
Okay. Listen at Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. With me in the studio is Mr. Frank Davis, and we have our career advisor herself, Career 101, my dear Linda. Okay.
My dear Linda.
Yes.
So, in light of this, let's go back to young people and starting careers. I know that when we talk about millennials, anyone under 30.
Yes.
So this is the particular generation. There's a lot of focus on being an entrepreneur. How do you starting on your own, being YouTubers and influencers in different capacities. So I work with this charity called Young Enterprise, and it's an international charity. And what we do is I sit on the board of directors for this charity. So we go to schools, and young people are encouraged to start their own company. So you'll have a managing director, a finance director, a marketing manager, and build a proper company within this framework.
Mm.
And they have about 6 months from the beginning to the end, and they get various awards at different stages for who made the most money, who was more creative, what products they've sold. And last week we had a trade fair in the Eastbourne Beacon Centre, which was phenomenal. We had 4 groups of people, and they came up with different products, jewelry. One of the teams, and this is a bunch of 15 to 16-year-olds, one of the teams had devised a coloring book, but also a word puzzle book for 0 to 4-year-olds, and it was designed to teach them about the world. So they drawn the pictures themselves, and for each country, they've told them a little fact that they can remember about each country and where it is, and some of the people and the cultures that people believe there, you know, in a bid to bridge the tolerance amongst people and get more young people to know more about the world rather than just where they live. And I thought it was really fascinating. This coloring book was well done, and it was just very impressive to see how, when we allow young people to think for themselves, the things they come up with.
Wow, listen to Starr Radio UK, Linda PALLIEN on the line, bringing you Career 101. Now, Linda, look, I know that you talk to, or you address diverse community, so it's not looking at the black or the white, you just go round across the board. But I'm asking now this question in line with the black community, where we have most of our youth who, I mean, they'll start from college, let's say from the secondary school, and then they start, I mean, going wayward. I mean, some of them don't continue to, I mean, get to the point, the places where you can say that they are making an impact when it comes to the education. The talk less going further in the becoming proper entrepreneurs and stuff like that. Okay, but the question that I have is, they talk about clipping their wings, that their wings are clipped. Now, so if you're addressing such people, what do you think you would tell them for them to understand that, look, you still have got that power, that potential in you that you can do whatever thing that you are talking about now?
Definitely, and you raised a very valid point. And again, I was discussing this with my little brother, because he works in Felton Prison, and he works with a lot of black youths who are in the prisons. And we're talking about the sort of socioeconomic factors that maybe don't give them as much advantage as other people might have. But at the same time, when you have an idea, in this day and age where you have access to people via your mobile phone, you know, with any device, it's worth people thinking outside the boxes that they find themselves in. You might find yourself in a school that won't provide the service, for example, young enterprise. You might find yourself not even being able to go to school because you're a carer for your parents, or but you would have access to a phone or something, and it's worth putting these ideas across and trying to get help from people that are outside your immediate environment, you know. And this is, again, when we talk about independent thinkers, seeing yourself as different to your surroundings and not being a product of your surroundings.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people see them, their peer groups, and a lot of black people or Afro-Caribbean people, we surround ourselves with very like-minded people. So they say, show me your friends, the 5 people you surround yourself with. Yeah. I'll tell you about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's good in a way. These things serve us. I'm not saying go and be a unicorn or an island. You surround yourself with the right people, because as human nature, we like to belong to a group. Yeah. Yeah. But if you're going to achieve beyond what the group has already achieved, you're going to have to look beyond the group. And if you don't have access to people that would help you with your mission, there's books that you can read that will help you to your mission. There's a lot of online resources available. You can seek help within these communities and get the necessary funding, even if you have to fundraise to feel a business that you want to start or an idea. But the message is to encourage people to look beyond their immediate environment for these kind of things.
So they need to look beyond their immediate environment to find such opportunities. Okay, then you talked about this young enterprise group that you are part of the board. Now, if people are listening to us and they think that, look, I've got this potential, I've got that, but in my community there isn't anything of the sort. Now, how do they approach, that to get them to unearth that potential in them?
Yeah, so depending on where you are, there's a lot of similar initiatives. Young Enterprise is quite global. So again, people can contact me if you want to do Young Enterprise in your society, and I'll be able to put you in touch with the board of directors in the part of the country that you are, in the part of the world that you are, if we have that provision. But at the same time, most of the chambers of commerce in each area, especially in the UK, would have a startup initiative where sometimes you might get funding for this. If people are going to universities as well, I know that there's initiatives that give you funding for your startup idea, but you have to look for these things. You have to do a bit of research, and you have to ask for it. You might get free office space, you might get, I know a couple of people got some funds up to a couple of thousands to be able to start their project, or even to be able to buy a computer to start the project. So you don't have to have the idea and the resources already there. You just need the right person to hear the idea and believe in it.
Okay. Let me see. Frank, what do you have to say about what Linda is talking about?
Look, this is one of the best things that will ever happen to a generation. I say this because the focus is on bringing out potentials that are in people. Why is it that in school, back home, and we are able to identify footballers? We are able to identify people who are in athletics, because that's how they are an F from that young age. But we do not focus on what keeps the economy moving. Which is mainly business. Are you getting me? So for me, any initiative like this that focuses on trying to target and bring people up, direct them, or unveil to them opportunities that are actually, if we had some of these opportunities, some of us will not be here. If we had opportunity where I knew that what my mom is selling, when people used to come to my mom's shop, what I did was I go to negotiate with my mom. If a product is £10, I tell my mom I'll pay you £10. When the people come, my mom can't talk. I tell the people £12. So any profit above £10 is mine.
So far as that
was at the age of around 13 years. I started making money on what my mom was saying. She goes to bring the product she wants to sell, but I negotiate with her, mom. Today I'm going to man this shop. Some people can let me serve them. So I put a CD, a pound, and everything on that. That I could have developed.
You could have been a proper business tycoon, you know.
You see, so initiatives like this for me, especially where there are supports like people who have done it, like Linda and others, ready to help you. Actually, that's what we need in our education system. And I'm happy that things like that going. I urge people to take advantage. You know, tell your children to take advantage. You know.
Wow, Linda, please go on.
Yeah, but before Linda goes, you know when Linda, 1 minute. You know when those of us who believe, because I know anytime we talk about some of this in Africans, we are quick, we pray God will say. Do you know when God caused manna to fall? You know, manna did not fall in the bedrooms.
No, not in the tents. No,
not in the tents.
No,
and God had the power to cause the manna to
of course.
He got them to go searching. So if you are a parent and certain things like this are going on, and you think people should come and spoon feed you, it is part of your responsibility to call people like Linda to be listening to programs like that and to be finding out where I live in Streatham. How do I access this for my younger one? I live in Abbeywood. What do I do so that my kid, my daughter is 3 years old, is there anything? Or my daughter is 14 years old, is there anything? That is your responsibility. And so, if you tell me that the Bible says we should be praying, you will be stupid.
Yeah.
We should pray and act. That's what the Bible says.
We seem to be spiritualizing things too much. I remember when I was in secondary school, I had a mate of mine, or and we call him Black American at the time. And this guy, he could create, sandals. He could just create it. We were what, 13, 14, 15, and he was creating it. And I looked at him, but he came from a very poor home. So people will, he creates it and he'll be wearing it, and people will be laughing at him and stuff like that. But you see, it was
only needed a bit of support. You only needed support.
Maybe a good shoe manufacturer, maybe like Nike and all that stuff like that. Well, Linda.
I love these things because you know how we're talking about pray.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes this just teaches people learned helplessness. You know, oh, God will provide. Oh, don't worry. Oh, don't question it. It's fine. Life isn't important. You don't have to be rich. Focus on the next life. And people are not using the talents that God has given them. To, like when you're talking about your friend Adami, there's a lot of people that are naturally talented, that are gifted. You see all of these people, third world countries, and they're making bicycles out of bamboo, shoes out of nothing. And we need to support these people. And Frank, you mentioned about we put emphasis on footballers and creatives. And we've learned to pick out those talents. But again, it's the same skill that is applied to business people as well. Footballers, they need the coaching, they need the training. We give them coaches, we give them training. They have to practice all the time. But if a child wants to be a banker or anything in business, we're not giving them the same attention and saying, look, study this, go and do work experience for this, go and find out about this thing. You need to practice your craft, just like a footballer would have to train all the time to build up the muscle. You've got to practice negotiation, as you were saying, where you're selling your mom stuff and you're putting
some pens on it.
Yeah, these are valuable business skills. And don't wait till they're teenagers and figure out, oh well, what can I do? What do they do now at 4, at 5? What can you start doing then? Just make their lives a little bit easier. And this is a responsibility for parents, especially. And don't discourage people. A friend of mine was talking and she said her daughter really wants to learn the piano. And we know that there's a perception it's really expensive. Obviously, if you're going to buy a piano where you're going to put it in the house. Then piano lessons and you have to do all of the grades. But should this stop her from practicing, even if you couldn't afford it? Could you find a friend that has it? Or a lot of these music shops will let you come in and play it.
You can rent it even. You can
there's some on the streets that are there that say play me, or you can take lessons on YouTube, but don't let stifle people's creativity because of our own limitations of what we need to happen. I can't afford a piano, therefore she definitely can't do it. Find creative ways of supporting our young people so that they can flourish. These people, these kids that we were working with on Saturday, they all started with £200. I kid you not, Saturday each team took home about £500.
Look at that.
From, I mean, and if you know Eastbourne, I love this place.
Yeah, I know Eastbourne. I've been going there.
It's not the busiest shopping center in the world. And it hasn't got the richest people there, but they're making, and I was so impressed. You know, I coach people that have businesses, adults that have businesses that are not even making this kind of money a day. They were getting contracts from shops that were saying, can you supply these books? I'll buy everything you've got. And that's just because they're out there doing it. You've got to start £100, £50, a pound, do something.
Wow. Listen, Starr Radio UK, Career 101 with Linda Pallian. In the studio is Mr. Frank Davis and myself. But Linda, yesterday I had a chat with one of the youth in my church, and they were telling me, oh, they did business studies or something. They've graduated, and he said it's not got a job. So I was just trying to just chat with her, find out what exactly she's doing. Now she's telling me she wants anything. So when I was going back home, then I was thinking, now did she get the right advice when it came to choosing the particular profession, or was she pushed, or because of what they call it, peer pressure? Oh, my friend is doing that.
But actually, you know what? Studying business doesn't make you a businessman or a businesswoman. That is one thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of these things, I mean, something that you're born with, with talent. So going to business school and you allocated a course that you studying business doesn't make you. Because if you study business, what do I need you for? That's the question. If you do business study, what do I need you? In our setting, for instance, who do we need? We need a lawyer.
Yeah.
We need an accountant.
Yeah.
We need journalists. Okay. So basically, if you tell me that you study business, every businessman is a business school on its own.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? A businessman is a business school on its own.
Yeah, the experience that you go through a day, you are graduating each day.
Anyway, Linda will listen.
Linda, please go on.
But funny enough, I had this conversation as well with one of the girls who wants to do science, but also wanted to study business. And I was saying that a business, and I studied business, a business degree or even a business school gives you tools. But actually, it's when it comes to application, it's completely different. You know, and you don't need a business degree or business education to do. You can find these things, and if she studied business, good. But people need to stop relying on just the education they've had.
Okay.
Like you were saying, you need a journalist. There's nothing that says someone who studied business or comes from a business background couldn't be a good journalist.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say, oh, well, my degree's in this, or I'm only looking for this particular job. What value can you add to someone? And the business degree that you have will just be a bonus. You know, you'll be able to understand the spreadsheet more. You'll be able to understand what terminologies are. But think outside the box of what else you can do.
Okay, think outside the box. What else you can do? Now we know our time is far gone, and we know you are busy packing. Don't worry, we are coming to Cyprus with you, myself and Frank.
Come.
Okay, so if somebody is listening to us, especially the youth or the parents who are listening to us now, what would you advise them? How would you advise them to get their young people to get the best out of them? Being entrepreneurs, how do they get to that track once again?
Okay. And I want you to listen closely. If you're a young person or if you've got young people, I want you to plant the seed of continuous learning, investing in yourself, thinking outside the box. A lot of us don't go outside of the bare minimum education that we've got, or the education that's outlined for us. You've got to go into investing in yourself, looking at other avenues, what's coming up in the world, what are they really interested in? What is this young person really good at? How can I get them to get better at it, or to get some experience at it, or to pursue it further? I'd say learn to be independent thinkers. Look outside the box. If you're studying business and you're interested in the universe or astrology, learn that too, and find out how you can combine those things to have a creative career where you're the specialist in business and astrology or something else. Let's start thinking outside of the box of how you can add a unique value and command whatever salary that you want, because you're the only person that has expertise in business and in astrology or in whatever varied careers that you want to do.
Wow, listeners, Starr Radio UK. Now, Linda, before we go, can you put your contact details? Because I say it all the time. She's my cheerleader. You want her to be your cheerleader? She can still be your cheerleader as well. But how do people get in touch with you?
Definitely. So I've made it simple to get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me via Facebook at my cheerleader, Twitter, Instagram, and my website as well is now at mycheerleader.com, www.mycheerleader.com. So there's no confusion about it. My Cheerleader, you just have to type into Google and my face will pop up and contact me about anything to do with careers. Last week we launched the online course as well, so that's up and kicking, and this is the online version, the affordable version of the one-to-one coaching, the VIP one-to-one coaching I do. So if you can't afford to pay me tens of thousands, there's a course that's only $297. It teaches you how to do your CV, how to sell yourself, how to stand out from the crowd, how to make a portfolio, how to do video branding, how to do networking, talking to people, how to collect leads, how to do sales. Literally everything you need to be successful as a professional in business, as an employee, it's in there. So you'll find that as well. Contact me and ask me about that, and I'll be able to send you the Starr Radio discount link.
Wow. Okay, Frank, before Linda goes, if you have anything
I want to say thank you, Linda, for the good work you continue to do, and may the Lord richly bless you. When God is blessing her, don't think she's just been praying. She's praying and acting.
Working on it, working hard.
Praying and acting. That's what I keep on saying. You know, we are in church program 24/7 every day of the week and want God to bless us.
Hey, we are praying. Exercise. You see, those who want to be in the gym, they don't have.
Actually, it's got to a point we need to speak the truth to our own people.
Of course.
We need to speak the truth to ourselves.
Of course.
You know, we need to be frank with ourselves.
Yeah.
We need to be frank because actually, in our poverty, in our own stupidity, we keep on creating a generation that we're passing on to them chronic poverty, chronic ignorance, chronic, what do you call it, falsehood. You know, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It hasn't worked.
Okay.
And our experiences to tell us that it has not worked. And therefore, parents should be at the best position to be able to educate their children. Look, I once believed in this. They didn't work.
Yeah.
You know? Linda, have a great week.
Linda, have a great week, and we'll catch up with you.
Yeah.
All right. Then.
Thank you.
All right then. Bye-bye for now. Well, bye. Well, listeners, we're going to bring in the program to close. But like I announced this evening, it's at 5 o'clock. We have Regina Aban and Caroline, Lady Caroline, coming your way with the On Point program. At 7 o'clock exactly, we'll be having Tony Williams also coming your way with the Mindset program. That'll be followed at 10 o'clock with the Conscious Reggae Time on Starr Radio UK with HRH. Dave West, he's celebrating 50 and a half years. He keeps on celebrating. Last year he celebrated the 50 years. Now he's added a half to it. So yes, we are going on. So make sure you join in on those discussions. Frank, before we go, what else?
Another breaking news that is coming in right now, that is coming from the UK government, and has to do with international driving license. There has been changes. So we're going to post the details on our website. Say driving abroad before and after 2000. So if you're a UK resident and you actually going out of this country, and what regulates how you drive in those countries, you know, there's this bilateral agreement where you can drive in certain countries.
EU, other countries as well.
Okay, if there's an AU as a deal, UK license holder will be able to continue to drive in all EU and EE countries using their UK driving license. In the event that there's no deal, there's no EU as a deal, the government will seek to put in place new arrangement for EU and EE countries to recognize UK driving licenses when people are visiting. But that means that they've not done it yet. They will seek. Okay, so it continues. Until such arrangements are in place, UK driving license holders may need international driving pass in addition to their UK driving license to drive when visiting EU and UK. Each EU and EA country will decide if they require a foreign driver to have IDP in addition to driver license. So that's out of their hands. Anyway, Brexit.
You see, we are in a place where everything is okay. We don't want that again. We want to.
Welcome. You know, welcome. Some of us, like Felix will always say, we've gone through this gymnastics. We know how it feels to queue.
Yeah.
We know how it feels to go to embassy and be denied a visa.
Yes.
We know how it feels your travel arrangement have been delayed because visa has not been approved. We know how it means to lose money because you now have to go and be looked at an non-existing bank statement to back your visa
application.
They take it for granted. They drink tea and coffee, jump on a train, and then we are going to Spain. We are going to Mubete Mupinga.
Okay, that's how Franklin ended. It's a Mubete Mupinga. We don't want to say your pinga. So continue to listen to us.
That was a word in French.
Okay, it's a French. Yeah, it's a French word. Pinga. Okay, go check it. Go check it out. All right. So we want to say thank you very much for tuning in once again. Sometime tomorrow we'll be coming your way with another edition of the morning show. We'll have ample time to have a look at all the other issues that is going on. You have anything to say about the vigilantism or now they call it militia or glorified terrorists, whichever you want to tell them.
I call it terrorists in the making.
He said it's in the making, so fine. That's a different one there. But on that note, we say continue to listen to us on Starr Radio. We're bringing some jazz this afternoon that will make your afternoon good. Yes, Frank, we are going.
Gone, we are.
Okay, okay. Then. So we are gone. We are gone now. There's a Ghanaian music. What do you call them? What do you call them? Osibisa.
We are going.
We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We know we will
get there.
But we'll see whether the Brazil will take us there or not. On that note, we say bye-bye today. Bye. Have a blessed day.
Are you ready, ladies? This one is for you. Don't miss our 10th anniversary Lady to Lady Global Conference for Change and Miracles. Join us from 10 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of March at the London Excel Centre. Register today at ladytoladyconference.org. That's ladytoladyconference.org.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly